Hey guys, welcome back to Odrick Sports. Colton Hall here with Mr. Martin, the head coach for the girls varsity wrestling team. Excuse me, my intros are horrible today. Mr. Martin, thanks for joining us.
You betcha, anytime, man.
So, Spearfish, last year you guys finished sixth and with the girls and everything at state. Fantastic. Really, we were happy to be there and just cover every girl in every different weight class. And to me, it really just showed what the future held, because to my recollection, I think we didn't have very many seniors last year, right?
I only had one senior, and unfortunately, she didn't qualify. She was actually a two-time state place winner for us, but just had a rough year, a rough weight class, rough region, and just didn't make it. So yeah, we got every girl. We took 5, placed 5, have all 5 returning this year.
That's so big, and
huge.
And I feel like just talking with you that. Having something like that really just sets up the expectations for this next season. So what are your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, we were 6th this year, just to get better. I think we can push for at least a top 4. That's kind of what we're hoping. Again, I've always said it to you or everybody, just wrestling's a season where you got to stay healthy.
Yep.
I mean, and that's any sport. I mean, I think you showed even like with our football team, you get a couple injuries here or there, and you're losing games you probably shouldn't be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's the same thing with wrestling. You got to have to kind of hit it at the right time. You have to be peaking at that state tournament. You got to be healthy for you to, get kids in there. And, we were lucky with the 5 girls. We only took 5, but, getting 6th, they all beat their seeds. So, I mean, this year, we have to do a little more of the same. And, that, of course, begins the week before with regions. We discussed that last time. Our region is so tough that and it's going to be again this year. And just to get them through the region tournament is an accomplishment in itself. So, yeah, I mean, really you just got to stay healthy and be peaking at the right time and hopefully get the girls in the right weight classes and, have the good matchups.
No, absolutely. So you guys start practicing in a week, right?
Yep, correct. November 17th, so yeah, a week from today.
Heck yeah. What is your kind of, I feel like it's always different kind of transitioning from that, fall season to coming into the winter. We had our first snow the other day, or we've had a couple of them. I'm so tired of it. But what's kind of your mindset just in terms of, kind of getting, switching over from fall now to winter and just kind of getting things going?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that, we kind of bring that, just time to go to work. I mean, that's the nice thing with the girls that we have. I mean, the majority of them all have, 15 to 17 girls, to start out, and all of them, if I remember correctly, are coming back from last year. So I mean, it's they kind of know what happens when they hit the doors, and we just start building from day one, and just we've really kind of got into more of a drill-centered practice where we're just drilling constantly moves over and over again. Yeah, I mean, we're showing stuff, but we try to kind of take those basic things and just drill, just so you have those fundamentals down, so it's just automatic to you. So that's kind of the transition, and of course the conditioning piece, and we try to taper it right away. We're not going to come out just crazy right away because you've got to build to that. But yeah, I mean it's that's the nice thing right now. We have a lot of girls that kind of know our practice pace and what we expect out of them. So.
Yep. Well, yes, you've got a couple of seniors this year, I believe, with the Matsuda twins, correct?
Yeah, we've got 6 seniors.
6
actually.
seniors.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, time goes, that's for sure.
It does, and it's been nice because those of the one girl we're getting back from injury, and she started off with us and as a 7th grader, and then had some injury issues and took a couple of years off, but she'll be back this year, and hopefully we can keep her healthy. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool that we've had those 5 to 6 girls that have stuck with us for the last 4 to 5, 6 years in there. So it stinks having them that they're seniors and there's 6 of them, but it's also a cool thing too. That just shows a lot about the program and that they've had faith in it and stuck with it. So.
Oh, absolutely. So when you have those girls that all went to state last year, what is your mindset in terms of trying to fill out the rest of those positions and weight classes, and trying to get that, maybe put a good girl in the best place to maybe come out of regions?
And that's just it. And that's kind of the chess piece of it. The nice thing is that the state we pushed for it as coaches. We went to 14 weight classes now. It was 12.
Oh, wow. Okay. Which
is huge now because that just gives 2 extra weight classes. And essentially, it starts at 100 pounds, and then it goes 5-pound increments all the way to 145. So your first 10 weight classes are all 5 pounds apart, and then your top 4 weight classes go 155, 170, 190, then 235, which is the max for heavyweight. So that actually really helps us. I'm hoping we're gonna be tight in the middle there, and of course, all of the girls, most of our seniors are all kind of grouped together. So it's gonna be we'll have to do some wrestle offs, but some of that is where we may see where girls end up, because with wrestling right away at the beginning of the year, that's where most of those kids, girls, boys even, they're probably going to be a weight class lower. Some of them will jump up, but because at Christmas you get a 2-pound weight allowance. Well, that allows you to kind of cut down to a weight class if you want to get lighter.
Yep.
And then you have that weight allowance. So there's a lot of movement there. You can't really decide that probably till like January for, when you start seeing it where they're going to end up consistently. But we kind of have a pretty good idea of where we're going to end up with, where we're going to slot everybody in.
Okay. And you mentioned the chess piece of it, because there's a couple of teams around the state, like Pierre, like you mentioned. Canton's always tough.
Yeah.
What's it like coming back? Because, girls wrestling hasn't been actually going that long, correct, in the state.
This is, I believe, the 6th year of sanction.
Yeah. And so, you talk about going from not having the sport to now in a spot where you're this competitive. That's got to feel good.
Oh, it is. It's great. And it's funny because every year it just seems like it gets tougher and tougher. And I'll be totally honest with you, I didn't think it was going to get as tough as fast as it has. It's the first couple of years, it was like it seemed like 75% of the matches they'd end in pins in the first or second period. Now we're seeing 3-period, 1-point matches, overtimes, barn burners. It's crazy how fast it's grown and how advanced girls have become. And a lot of that has to do with, I think, the coaching in the state too, because a lot of them will start out with boys programs that are really good, and then they'll kind of separate out. But yeah, it's been so cool to see the sport and how fast it's grown. And even the officials that say it too, they're like, wow, this is getting to be, we've got to kind of be ready here, because these girls are going to get after it, and we've got to be ready to officiate the match too. So it's been great to see the level of it. And it's really cool to see that.
And then as you kind of go through, the matches and everything, like at what point do you really start to, I don't want to say solidify your starting lineup and heading into regions and all that, but at what point, because how much time do you have here to really mess with things?
We typically, we'll be pretty set just because of the number of girls that we have. There's going to be probably only 2 to 3, and I couldn't sit here and nail it down, but weight classes where we might have to have wrestle-offs, every couple weeks or whatever. Most of it's going to be slotted out just because of our numbers. If we had the 30, 40 boys, it might be a little different.
Yep.
But we typically, by the end of January, beginning of February, is usually about the time we say, this is our team, because that way it's that girl knows that, hey, this is my weight for state. This is where I'm going. I can concentrate on that. I don't have to worry about a wrestle off now. So typically around that time. Now there's extenuating circumstances we've had in the past, maybe an injury or something, somebody coming back. But usually by about the beginning of February, we have that. We pretty much solidify our team. What that's going to be the one we're going to put in the regions.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, and the one thing too, I hate to keep going back to it, but when we were at state last year, I didn't know how emotional the sport was, and that's just such a big part of it. How do you kind of being a coach of high school athletes, how do you kind of, I would argue that wrestling might be one of the more emotional sports because, just how hard they work and then also what goes into it. How do you kind of balance that and just kind of, work and just make sure they're going to that next match?
We've really tried to get to the girls. We try to preach to them. We call it like a task mindset. We talk to them about it's always the cliche of the next game or the next match, but we try to break it down even further than that and kind of be like, hey, next takedown. If you get taken down, they'll go get the next point. Just little things. Look at the little thing first and then go to the next task. And I think that goes that way too that's why we hope to try to keep them in check. So like, hey, I get taken down. It's not the end of the match yet. Now I got to go get a score here. But of course, if you do lose, it's like, okay, it's not, I have to beat this girl in the next round. No, what I mean is like 2 rounds, don't look 2 rounds down the road, let's look at the next round. I don't care record wise, whatever. That's it's the same thing with any state tournament. Upsets can happen. we've
Yep.
all seen it before. I mean, I've seen the number one kid go down in the quarterfinals, and and last year we had one of our girls upset a girl that had beat her all year in the first round, and then that enabled her to place basically, because it set her up differently. So that's what we try to instill in the girls, is just have that task mindset and just take one little thing at a time, not the big picture. So
What do you, and as you kind of get going here, what do you do to kind of, get yourself ready? Because I know that, as a coach, trying to put athletes in the best possible position to be successful, what are some things or teachings maybe that you kind of hold close to you?
I just, my biggest thing with girls, I try to tell them, especially with wrestling, just show up every day. Get there, get in the room, put the work in, and a lot of that will take care of itself. And, I don't think, usually we have pretty good buy-in with our program with that. And because I just try to keep it simple. I don't try to come up with some big 3-page philosophy thing. That's kind of my philosophy, is just, show up, put the work in, and those things will take care of themselves. I don't know how else to put that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I keep it pretty simple, because that's one of those sports where it's going to show when you put the work in. I mean, it shows when you work out in the spring and the summer, and you're going to the national tournaments. We've got a couple of our girls have been going to a couple of national tournaments, and you can see it already, that how much better they are, in open mats or just in those national tournaments, how they're competing. And that's just what I try to instill in them, is that, just keep putting in the work, and the good things are going to happen to you.
Well, and that's the big thing I've realized too, is this, like you said, you got a couple of girls that are going to those tournaments, and seeing already how far ahead they are of the others. They potentially could be at the others. It's like, okay, and I think that's so cool when you talk about the buy-in that you've already seen.
Yeah, and that's just it, and that's what they have to buy into. And there's part of me that likes that, and it doesn't like that, because I think both you and I know that. I mean, I hate to say it, back in our day, but I mean, you didn't see a lot of that. You saw a lot more multi-sport athletes, and I still love the multi-sport athlete, don't get me wrong, but it's like, man, if you want to be good anymore, or get, maybe a college scholarship, you got to maybe narrow it down to 1 or 2 sports now to really get that. And that's unfortunate to see that, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, it's and if a girl doesn't want to do it, I'm fine with that. It's just that, it's one of those things. Then when they come back and ask me, like, hey, what can I do to get better? First thing, got to put some time in the off season. What I mean, just to get better at that aspect. And some of them are okay with that, and I'm okay with it too, because they'll work hard during the season too. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell the girls that put the time in the off season, even from across the state as well. So.
Well, awesome. No, I'm really excited for the season. I think just to kind of see, the step that each one of them takes this year, and hopefully we'll come with a state title.
That's the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I mean, other than I just always like to give a shout out to Cody Powers, my assistant. Man, I couldn't do it without that guy, and he's just as much a part of this team as I have. And we actually have a new assistant coach. We have a female, her name's Steph Badwoon, and she, actually her daughter wrestles for us, and she's got boys that have wrestled in the past, and we're gonna, kind of coach her up and have her helping out with the girls, and we're looking forward to having her as well, and having that female interaction too. So really excited. I have a very good, pretty good coaching staff. I'm pretty fortunate. So.
Thank you. Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely. Anytime, man.
And good luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Colton.
Yes, sir.
All right.